Welcome to the KDFL Dynasty Football Podcast. It's me, Brett Steele. And as you can see, Mr. Jonathan Detroit Haynes is not here on vacation. The Zinfo Matt Smith is down in the Keys on vacation. So we have a very, very special edition for you all this week from the Off the Cuff podcast and KDFL royalty here. First, let's introduce KDFL 2023 and reigning champion, Mr. Mike Midnight Rider McGee.
I want to thank you for having me. You know, you didn't have to say it so friendly. We took those two bums and we sent them back down to the minors. And you called up, as you call it, the royalty, the big guns. You brought them in.
The last two champs.
Oh,
Actually, technically the last four champs.
Yeah, it is true. This is the only post-COVID era champs. And again, joining us is the evil commission himself, Mr. Jeremy Clark.
What's up, guys? Brett, I'm just happy that you survived the hurricane. And
yes,
we were all more worried than you were, which is
yes
the funniest thing. And then when it happened, I was like, oh, I guess he was right because he just had a little wind at his house, I guess.
Very lucky. It did shift north right after it went through Orlando. So that's a weird talk with the work chat when they're all like, we're going through this, we're going through that. I'm like, oh, it shifted north, just had a little wind, little power flicker and stuff, and we're good. So very happy with that. But as we'll find out in a little bit, not as happy with the fantasy results. Let's go ahead and dive into week 6. Take it away, Mike.
We will start in Hurricane as the Nocatee Zen Masters came in peace and traveled to take on the Wampus Cats. Wampus Cats favored big in this going into the week. Struggled a bit at the quarterback position. Kyler Murray and Herbert coming up short. Derrick Henry continues to carry that offense on the ground with 25 points. Defensive performances, not good enough. We look at Nocatee. Caleb Williams travels across the pond, throws for 4 touchdowns. His coming out party, 31 points. Trevor finally does something, chips in with 19. Brock Bowers continues to be solid. And the Zen Masters on the road. Final score, 218 to 212.
Well done, Zen Masters. All right, next we go to we go to Dogtown. The Cross Vegas Gamblers head over to Dogtown to have a few drinks with their Dobermans in the friendly matchups of Old Whites. Had to drop a Pat McAfee reference in there. Bo Nix is starting to he reminds me of a poor man's Jalen Hurts. And I don't mean that as number 1 fantasy quarterback. I mean that he looks terrible for 3 quarters, and then you look up and he finishes with 20 fantasy points, because that's happened like 3 times now. Yeah. And it has amazed me every single time. Tyrone Tracy, who Brett loves and did not draft for whatever reason, had 20 points. Looks like he should be the Giants running back. Fred Warner, who should be the defensive player of the year, had 20 points. And looks like the Dogtown Dobermans took care of business against the Gamblers, as everybody expected, 237 to 202.
All right, now we're going to head to Wake Forest, where my Melbourne Mega Powers at 3-2 are visiting the 2-3 Wake Forest Lumberjacks. Oh boy, as a sign of things to come in this matchup, we know how we talk about a defensive player leads off all scoring with the Mega Powers, as it is the crazy one, Brian Branch, with 29. The only trade bait the Wake Forest Lumberjacks would offer, Chris Godwin, leads all scorers with 36 of his own. Drake London continues his impressive season with 20 for the Mega Powers. Bijan Robinson, I believe this is his best game as a pro. That will be a theme with the Lumberjacks in this matchup. Scores 26 on 2 touchdowns. Third straight Falcon mention in a row. Nate Landman comes back from IR and pours in 18 for the Mega Powers defense. And Adebo caps off the Lumberjacks scoring with 24 of his own. And the Mega Powers are taken to the woodshed by the Lumberjacks, blown out 258 to 191.
Next, the Elkview River Rats take a swim and travel to St. Albans, face the Centers. Elkview winless on the season. Can they get off the snide? Will they get off the snide? And what's it going to cost them? That's the question. Starting out, Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love combined for 50 points. Defense pitching in. Across the board, kicker, 15 points. He's chip shot and field goals. St. Albans, though, not good. Ezekiel Elliott, 1.7 points. Mike Evans, 5 points. Trey Tucker in that OP spot, 1 point. It's just not good enough.
Not good.
And the Elkview River Rats get their first win of the season, 250 to 224. But they're asking themselves the question, what did it cost them? Because they lost Aiden Hutchinson for the year.
At what cost?
Yep.
Everything.
What cost?
Up next, we have all that's left of a once great town of Dunbar. We've got the Roxelana Renegades.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Hey, who is this? Can I do this one?
Yeah, you can do this one.
This is off the cuff.
You can do this.
This is not my game to do. But you know what? I saw who it was, and I just want to jump in. What we got here? Okay. Oh, it's the Kanawha County Kings. Good fix. Oh, visiting Roxelana. Oh, what happened here? Okay. Roxelana. Let's start there. Let's be nice for a second. Run game for Roxelana. Montgomery 21, Swift 21, Mixon 27. Defense across the board. I've always said about Roxelana, when the run game's going and the defense is going, he's tough to beat. That's always been his formula.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at Kanawha County for a second. First of all, he only scored 196. He didn't even get 200 points.
Is that below the Fildoza line?
That's below the Fildoza line. But let's look at who he has here. Let me see. There's Lamar Jackson. Oh, okay. Josh Jacobs, Brees Hall, ETN. Oh, there's CeeDee Lamb. Marvin Harrison. There's Brock Purdy. Yeah, you know what Tim reminds me of? He's like that guy walking through Sam's and they got the samples out. And they're like, hey, sir, would you like a sample? Would you like this? Would you like that? It's all these players he has. Yeah. He's like, oh, sure, I'll take them. And look at him. He's 3-3. That's coaching is what it is. You know what? I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. That's the problem here. And you know what? It extends far beyond the KDFL because I distinctly remember him getting beat in the baseball playoffs. Brett, I think you beat him. I didn't see a recap. I didn't see one recap.
No.
I didn't see a recap.
And funny enough, right now, we're in a basketball draft, if you will. I'm just going to run down his picks so far, just where we're at. His first pick, Jason Tatum. He set the bench in the Olympics. I don't have to say anything else. Sengun, second pick. I like the guy. Second pick, round. That's a reach. What are you doing? Maxey. What is he, third in the role there? What are you doing? DeJounte Murray. He's a fifth option. And then Jalen Green. He's a bust. Why don't you just say I'm packing it in for the season? I'm disappointed in you, Tim. Across the board, what are you doing? Handing a team. I picked you first in the power rankings. The champion picked you first, and you do me this way. I'm sick of it. I'm done.
I like it.
Renegades win 284 to 196.
Good job, Eric.
Renegades have been on fire ever since we said they were struggling. All right, now I'm supposed to follow game 6 game of the week. Might explain a little angst on that last recap right here as the Midnight Riders 3-2 take on the 4-1 South Hills Evil Empire. And Baker Mayfield continues to shine for the Midnight Riders with 27. Jalen Hurst answers for the Evil Empire with 24. Justin Fields, and perhaps what could be, we'll talk about his swan song of his fantasy season with 24 points of his own. George Kittle, moments after being wished dead by a host on this podcast, he answers that very night with 23 points. Deebo Samuel has another great game against the Seahawks. He owns them with 23. And then what appears to be a creative player, this may have been a guy just made by the commish just to fill in this role. I don't understand. I've never seen this guy before. Zach Allen.
Oh, my God.
Very uninspiring picture. Number one defensive interior lineman with 23. And the Evil Empire get a somewhat decisive victory over last year's former champ, winning 251 to 230. And that is it for your KDFL Week 6 results. That was beautiful.
Pretty good.
Absolutely tremendous.
Mike, what do you think about the game of the week there? Any thoughts on the game of the week? Yeah,
I thought that you deserved the win. You're 5-1. You have the most points in the league, and champs are struggling right now.
Well,
I've got a lot of injuries.
Man. You are 5-1.
Yeah.
It's 5
That
and
makes
1.
me. Does that make? I mean, I'm almost entering Lesnar territory right now. If I could, if he keeps winning, I could be the one
13
behind
and 1.
13-1.
That would be great. That would be great.
I'm sitting here staring. I'm like, man, that's 5-1. That's impressive. Not even putting it together that I was in fact the one. I think it was last week. No, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Okay, let's talk real quick. I want to hit over. Okay, so off the cuff podcast. You guys just kind of ramble on and on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that this show was
Hasn't
going to
happened in a
mirror
while,
that a
but-
little bit better. We got to play to your strengths. So I'm thinking this show might mirror that. Might do a little bit less on the breakdowns of the KDFL games and just kind of talk a little football for a second. Let's talk about. I didn't tell you guys I was going to talk about this, but let's hit on it real quick. I do think there's trouble brewing. I think Justin Fields might be getting benched, and this is going to be a problem for his fantasy owners, obviously. Mike, is that what you're saying? I have him in a bunch of leagues as well. And it's kind of my saving grace in a lot of leagues. I got really lucky. But what's your thoughts? Are you seeing the exact same things? Sure you.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to go with Russ. It's not like they made a decision early in the week to go with Russ. And you've kind of read between the tea leaves last week. Kind of seemed like they were heading that way. Fields has been pretty good. It's kind of surprising. He hasn't turned the football over. He's been really good with his legs. He's been accurate with the football. I don't know what the Steelers hope to get in exchange with Wilson starting. Because I mean, you could tell me he's cooked, and I believe it. So I don't know how it's going to look. And if you, like I said, you take away a hot quarterback. I know, like Roethlisberger, he said yesterday, like you can't take Fields out right now because he's hot and they're winning games. But Tomlin, he's normally a pretty good coach. He's smart. He knows his players. But we'll see what happens.
Maybe
feel
he's
like he
just
just
trying
had one of
to
his
shut
best
up
games.
yeah, maybe he's just trying to shut up the critics and just throwing Russ out there because they're on Sunday Night Football, right?
Yeah, and this is the other thing I want to
just throw him to Sunday Night Football
Jets.
against the Jets, make him look terrible, and then everybody can shut up about it, and then just go with Fields the rest of the season.
I do think that
Sabotage
Fields against the Jets could be bad. It has the potential to be bad. I mean, Russ might be bad too, but
I think Russ is bad regardless. At least Fields adds a dynamic because Fields is not good. I do not think Fields is good. Fantasy wise, he's fine, but he's not good.
It's a plus for Pickens.
Yeah,
I would think
it's a plus for any wide receiver on the team.
Yeah.
In the last 2 weeks, he's thrown for 131 yards and 145 yards. It's not great.
I was about to say, I think I even mumbled it. He just had his best game, but it really wasn't. It was just on the ground. He had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and they're not running him. I mean, he's had 50 yards in 3 games out of 6. Like, that's his strength. Why wouldn't you just run him nonstop?
Why wouldn't you? Why would you not? Because that's not the Arthur Smith style, okay? You don't do what you think I'm going to do. All right? You think I'm going to throw to Kyle Pitts? I'm not. You'll never see John.
I think I'm going to use a strength.
You'll never see Johnu coming. I promise you that.
That is true. I haven't seen him since.
Right, yeah. I think he's in Miami. All right, let's keep going here.
Ironic. MIA.
The Falcons, not much to say about them. They beat up on the Panthers. This is the game we lost last year with the $8 ticket, by the way, in the rain. But another late red zone turnover, Ritter. Yeah. But that's the only thing I'll say on them is right now we beat a team that we were supposed to beat in the way we were supposed to beat them. So we'll see what keeps rolling. Big game with Seattle coming, and I'll be in Tampa for the creamsicle game with the Bucks. So we'll see. Mike, let's talk about them Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them?
Why? Do I have to? First of all, this shouldn't surprise you. You're the biggest Cowboy fan on this pod right now.
I'm devastated.
I told you all offseason what was going to happen. It was one of the worst off seasons the team has ever had as far as getting blown out in the playoff game, losing multiple guys to free agency. You got lame duck coaches left and right. You got contract disputes. You're bringing back an older running back, and you're going to start him, and he looks beyond done. And now it's no surprise what's going on.
It really was all out there for everybody to see, and people
But
still
I was
kind of
doing the
ignored it.
thing where NFL surprised
I believe
you,
in him too,
you know, and
and I
I've never
still
seen a
think there's
group be
hope
more
just
down.
because, but I shouldn't.
I think it's
The
a
division's
very.
not the greatest, not the best.
It's not. We talked about it last year. It's a very older offense in the NFL. There's barely any motion. It's all on. I said it last Sunday. Dak is the system because it's all on him to see it, to change it, the protections, the reads,
Here
everything.
we go.
Yeah, and it's all hitches and short routes, no shots. The defense, you got right in Mike Zimmer's older, and defense doesn't look great. They're getting killed in the run game. They can't cover anybody. Diggs, by the way, he looks cooked.
Did I see a tweet of him cut to him and saying he can't keep up?
He can't keep up with Jameson. Yeah.
I blew my mind. I saw it like 4 hours ago.
I don't know if anybody can.
Yeah.
I know, but that's Darnold seeing ghost level right there. I mean, it's not a hot mic, but to see him say it
it's real bad.
I mean, it's just like I said, it's one of the worst run organizations in sports. So none of it shocks me. And they believe that they have spent money well. They believe they've drafted well, and they're just wrong. So you're going to continue to see this with the Cowboys.
Did we talk about Jerry going off on the radio?
The radio host?
Did we talk about that in Discord?
No.
I do get that frustration, by the way.
I
did too, but
you can't say it.
You know what's funny about that is he says that he pays those guys. He doesn't pay those guys.
Yeah,
so I don't
he thinks
even know.
He pays everybody.
Yeah. So
he doesn't pay them?
No, he doesn't. So if he wants everybody to just, bow down to him and about what's going on, it's not going to happen. Yeah.
I just want to know, did the Cowboys fans, did they have a good time?
God.
Sorry. We can move on. I just wanted to say that.
No.
Oh, man. That was like, that was the death rattle. Did you have a good time was the death rattle.
I got to get this one thing in about the Cowboys game, then I'm done. And we talked about this beforehand. I didn't say anything on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
I predicted Lions big in the Discord. I have no problem with him getting killed by the Lions. I knew it was going to happen. The Lions are rolling. Super Bowl favorites. Great. However, throwing the damn ball 3 times to an offensive lineman at the end of the game. What? Really? Really? What are we doing? Really? That tells you how much success that organization's had, which is about right there, to do that at the end of a game. Just run the ball and get out of there.
That's that's leftover juice from last year with the reported eligible.
Right. Congratulations. Yeah, keep that juice. Go back to Detroit. Keep doing your thing. Whatever. You know what I mean? Because if that happened to them, oh my God.
Yeah. You want to know the pet peeve? All right. We're just going to harp on it real quick. My pet peeve in the group chat. I mean, this is the beatdown of a lifetime right now in regular season. Huge surprise of a beatdown in this regular season so far. And this is kind of the second. No, okay, now I feel like I'm twisting right now, but it's kind of the second one because the Saints game also kind of did the same thing of surprise beatdown you didn't see coming. And then you get the message from our own Jonathan Detroit Haynes in the Discord.
Season's over?
No. I'm sorry, Mike. No, don't you ever apologize to me for beating my team. The Falcons and Cowboys play in like 3 weeks, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And now it can be done as a joke to me if we get blown out. But if one of you would have said, sorry, bro, my phone is going in the next county. Like, I'm so far. You apologize for beating me.
That's why I said, don't apologize. Enjoy the wins because you never know when they're going to come. Enjoy the wins.
I love Tim didn't get an apology. Just you.
Yeah.
That's just me. Didn't think about that.
Jerry the same way. I could never. That's why when the Falcons beat them with it was like that one-off week 2 weeks ago. Like it was or 2 years ago. It was like a weird game. The Falcons just played well, and I was sitting against with the punching in the face and all this stuff. Like you can't. He'd be so much more pissed if I said, "Sorry, Jerry. Get them next week, Bob." Yeah, it'd be awful.
Those dig deeper.
They do.
I don't need the sympathy right now
because it was sincere. I get it, but no. All right. Jim, I kind of went in backwards. I definitely went in full backwards chronological order here. Thursday night, See, this is when my faith pays off because I was almost thinking I was actually jinxing the Niners because I was so far behind them on Thursday, and they delivered.
Mm-hmm.
How we feeling about the Niners right now? It's already over, right? Division's started up.
Well, they're tied for the division lead right now.
It's started up.
I wouldn't say that. I can say I was pretty. I was worried going into the game. I mean, I do not think the Seahawks are any good.
Right.
And I think the Niners have been playing bad, but they're better than how they've been playing. So I thought they should win, but it was still scaring me just because Seahawks, Chiefs, Cowboys having a chance to lose 3 in a row, and the Niners be like 2-5, and their season be over against my 3 most hated teams was right there. So
yeah,
glad we avoided that for 1 week at least. But yeah, I'm.
Hang on a second.
Yeah. Okay.
You really believe? Be honest. You really believe the Cowboys are going to go into San Fran?
No, I'm before this week. Niners were 2-3. They had at Seattle.
Again, Mike, I don't know if I would go into it.
Even
it was a bludgeon.
Even before, take
I'm
this
just
week.
saying it was on the table. It was a possibility.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, what
it was in the range of outcomes.
Could have been 2-5.
No, I'm talking about the Cowboys going into San Fran in primetime and beating the Niners.
If the Niners were 2-5 and team falling apart, it could happen.
It's not going to happen.
Could have happened. It ain't gonna happen now.
Not against a Shanahan-led offense. The Cowboys have no idea what to do against a Shanahan-style offense. There's no idea what to do.
Apparently not.
Are the last 2 Cowboys playoff games the Zeke formation and then the Packers? Sorry, Mike. That's true, right? Those are the last.
I think. Yeah, there's Packers game, and then
because the Zeke formation was after they beat down the Bucs and ended Tom Brady's career. Thank God. It's the price you pay. You ended the GOAT. You're gonna have a little bit of.
I know.
Price you pay.
That was a frustrating loss because that was actually a tight game, and Pollard looked pretty good against him. Then he was out the whole second half. I don't think they were going to win anyway, but that was a much more competitive game.
All right, Jerry, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, Jerry.
I was just going to say the Niners' big weakness right now on offense, the only weakness they have is red zone. And thankfully, after the first couple, they did cash in some Kittle touchdowns late. So maybe they found something. Hey, let's just throw it to our big, awesome tight end in the red zone. He'll score touchdowns. How about that? Go ahead.
I would put red zone struggles right behind turning the football over as the most frustrating thing about an offense.
Yeah.
Like even behind, like not be able to move the ball.
When you can look great for 60 yards and then just know a clue how to football, like once you get to the 10-yard line, blows my mind.
Especially weird for a running team, a running scheme team that can, you would think.
I have a question.
They kind of get down there and stop running.
They do.
Would you rather have red zone concerns or concerns getting to the other team's 40-yard line so you just stop and kick a 60-yard field goal every time?
There's levels. There's levels.
Saying
that's on a different floor, but that is aggravating.
Sorry, I'm saying.
Anyways, go ahead and whatever. I think Brock Purdy was plus 1,000 on your MVP odds. I'd go ahead and place a few bets if I were you boys.
Do we want to do it? Do we want to break into the Brock Purdy discussion?
I'm not afraid of any Brock Purdy discussion.
And I'm not. All right. Let me say, I don't have a plan for this. I know it sounds like I have, what is it? I have the, what's the line from the debate?
Yeah,
I have the outline of a plan.
Yeah, something like that.
For this. But I don't have a set. Thank you, Mike. I have a concept of a plan for this. There's hint number two. Concept of a plan. Of a plan for this. Okay. I am not the enemy here. But I am talking to a
it's gonna be good.
Niners. I'm talking to a Niners fan. If I'm talking to a Purdy hater, I would be the opposite side of this argument. Okay. It's very strange. It is the most I love to talk about this stuff. And it is the most fascinating quarterback situation I can remember. It's not a who's better, you have 2 QBs, you have none. It's not the typical bull crap. You want a mobile QB, you want a pocket passer. It's none of that. It's so much different than all of that. So you You see it more than we do because of your algorithms, your 49er algos. You are still seeing a lot of Purdy disrespect. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, I still see some Purdy disrespect. Not as much. It is quieted, but it still exists.
He has the same MVP odds as Sam Darnold right now.
Yeah, no, that's just stupid, people.
He has
Honestly,
better
that
MVP
that
odds.
is Vegas trying to cash in on people that are unsmart. That's
Okay.
what that is.
You want? Oh, do I start off with this in the show? Okay. Here's the
Just
Brock Purdy. Here's
throw
the
your
Brock Purdy
fastball.
dilemma with me right now. See, but you're so far wrapped in him now. Like you're the body.
I'm
I can
not.
see
I'm
the
still
eyes flaring.
look.
The nostrils just did something
No,
weird.
no, look, again, before last
Right
season,
now,
I
for
was
just
still
this
hoping
season.
Trey Lance had a chance to play. Before last season, last August, that was 15 months ago. I still thought Trey Lance was the guy.
Okay. God. That wound. That's going to be a long time. Right now, I'd be willing to bet this is the Brock Purdy dynamic in a nutshell. To me, right now, I'd be willing to bet that if for just this season, contracts being the same, everybody stays the same, it's a 1-for-1 swap, you would not take Cousins over Purdy, right? You would stay put with Purdy.
I would stay put with Purdy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would do it either from my side, which is interesting. That is an interesting
Well, that's because
dynamic
you got another
that's unique to
quarterback.
this situation. What? Well,
You can't have
no.
two young quarterbacks.
No, not Penix. Poor Penix. Not Penix aside, but because I don't know, it's just a hard. Because I've seen what Cousins have been playing well.
Kirk Cousins right now, if they both were making $40 million right now, it's Brock Purdy by a landslide.
In San Francisco is the argument against. Do you think Purdy is better than Cousins in Atlanta?
Yes.
Michael? You're the only unbiased. It's not even biased for me because I really don't know.
I don't think it's far off because I like Cousins. You know that I like Cousins.
I know.
But Cousins is also at the end of
I like
the
Purdy,
road.
by the way.
He's at the end of the road.
Yeah,
Purdy is still
so
ascending. He's still getting better every week.
But that's why it was just this year. Just this year.
Well, I mean, even
which
this
I get
year.
still plays a role in this year. I get it because he is 36 or whatever. Yeah. 38.
Purdy versus Cousins in Atlanta's offense?
Yeah.
That's what you're asking? I would take Purdy.
Okay. Now,
I love Cousins, so it's not far off because that's the kind of quarterback that I like.
You're talking about the career or the franchise leader in single game passing yards, Kirk Cousins.
I'm a big Cousins fan.
Why don't you retire his jersey?
They did it on Matt Ryan night, dude. I mean, this guy.
God,
no respect.
God,
you can't get it. Okay. All right. So we look at the MVP odds right now. Let's take a team.
What did Matt Ryan do on Chris Chandler night? Is what I want to know.
There was never a Chris Chandler. Shout out Chris Chandler, the original 12, some would say.
Oh,
what's the name?
It's so funny, real quick, the naive of like a young fan. I had no clue what Chris Chandler. Chris Chandler was just the man to me. Now, if I'm 37 and we're starting like the Chris Chandler situation, I'd be nervous as all get out. But I was like, this guy is awesome.
Yeah, it's hard to think back about those old stuff.
Okay. I'm looking at the MVP odds. We could do the top 10. And I feel like Purdy might be the only one that a team would not give you a first for. Do you think a Raiders would give you? Do you think there's another name on here that would not get a first? Or do you think a team like we'll do this so we'll tie it in next week because it's going to be a rebuttal thing too, and he's gonna blow it all in the chat about it, but we'll talk about it too. But the Raiders, let's take the Raiders. Need a quarterback. They're going to be in a market for a quarterback. The Raiders obviously, we'll just start off with the example. The Raiders are obviously going to give a first to the Chiefs for Patrick Mahomes if they were given the opportunity. That's duh. Okay? Yes. We'll go down the line. They're obviously going to do a first for Josh Allen. They'll do a first for Lamar Jackson. They'll do a first for CJ Stroud. They'll do a first for Jaden Daniels already. Would you not think?
Yeah.
They're not going to do a first for Sam Darnold. I would not think. Although it is the Raiders.
No.
And you think they would give a first for Brock Purdy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not think they would.
I think it's a silly question.
That's easy. Yeah.
I don't think the Raiders.
If the
I don't think the
Patriots
Raiders
had,
fans are going to tell you they would
if
not
the
do that.
Patriots could have had Brock Purdy or Drake May, they would have taken Brock Purdy. They would have traded that pick for Brock Purdy that day, without question.
I I have it on extremely good sources that the Raiders. There are at least 2 Raiders fans that would not want to give up their first for
Well, it's a
Purdy.
good thing they're not running an organization. That's all I gotta say.
Burr, they would. Jared Goff is interesting.
Look, all you need is a proven how many first round quarterbacks flop? If you could get now, the only difference is you're getting the contract. You're getting the 4, hopefully
Correct.
5 years of cheaper contract. So that makes the question a little bit harder. But I mean, I bet most of these teams would trade a first round for Baker Mayfield right now.
All right. Well, the point is, the first round was kind of dumb for what the position is. I get that. The point is, he appears to me to be the only one on that top 10 or top 8. We'll say top 8 because Jared Goff and Jordan Love, besides Sam Darnold, I guess, that you would hesitate on. I think. I don't think you think you would hesitate on.
Well, I mean,
he's that proven.
I'm not trading a first for Jared Goff. Jared Goff was traded with a first just to get rid of him.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, is it not a similar situation?
Of what?
No, see, I compared him to Sam Darnold, and that shit sent some shockwaves, which obviously there's a very clear correlation. The guy was written off. And now he's playing well because he gets in what? The right situation, people. All right. We're new people here in 2024. The situations matter more than almost anything. I don't know.
I think any organization that is starving for a quarterback and that has tape of a quarterback and has had some success as a quarterback, they're going to put that first on him. I think so.
Yeah, forget the first.
At 24 years old,
compensation.
I mean,
the first was just the compensation I could pull up.
The things that gets interesting if you do head for head, like the Kirk Cousins for Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Now,
I could debate that one for both sides all day long.
I think it's clearly Purdy, but you disagree. But I mean, I think that.
No, I don't though. I really don't. I think I would feel uneasy about. I don't know what we have now. Now I know what we have with Cousins. I've seen it. Now I don't know what we have with Purdy. Could be better, could be worse. I have no clue.
If
I'm a little bit nervous.
If the money is exactly the same, I think there's like 5 quarterbacks I'd rather have than Brock Purdy.
Mahomes.
If the money's exactly the same.
Allen.
Mahomes, Allen, Stroud.
I don't know. Stroud. Okay. Yeah. Stroud.
I mean, I think those are probably the only 3.
What's the other ones?
Those are the 3 clear ones. Because Lamar, you got to change everything with Lamar.
Yeah.
Lamar,
we got to literally change everything.
I'm well documented on Lamar.
Jaden Daniels, I haven't seen enough yet. Like, he's been great, but Brock Purdy was finals MVP last year. Come on. And then Burrow's always hurt. So there's 3 guys I would for sure trade him for. Other than that, I'd rather have Brock Purdy.
Isn't that because we're just gonna go in circles? I know because I'm
king.
I'm telling you, this is my favorite dynamic.
Spend an hour doing this.
I know this is my favorite quarterback conversation. Isn't that just because of how he fits with Shanahan?
Okay. This is going to be
which is part of it.
It is part of it, but go all the way back to Thomas Brady.
Yeah.
His first
perfect fit.
6 or 7 years, you would have this debate over it's a system. Defense is the reason they're winning Super Bowls, blah, 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 blah. Then finally the team has to rely on him, and it's like, oh, he actually is the shit. He's awesome. He's the GOAT. But that took years for him to get rid of
I do think we're in that cycle.
Low draft pick stigma. And now that's where Brock Purdy is right now. Now, I do not think he's going to be. They might be. Who knows? But that's where we're at, where everybody just cares about the draft pick. They care about the situation. But now this year, he's having an even better year this year than he did last year without McCaffrey. And McCaffrey was top 3 in MVP with him. And everybody said, well, he's only good because he has McCaffrey. The offense only improved so much after Jimmy G because they also got McCaffrey at the same time Purdy started playing. Well, now they're still awesome on offense. Best offense in the league. He's having the best quarterback year in the league. And there's no McCaffrey.
And I will say this before we came on. I said, I mean, of all the games I've ever seen him play, that Seattle game, which it is Seattle, like I get it. Like I feel like we have to. Everybody knows the disclaimers. We don't have to disclaimer everything every single time, but because like that was to me was one of the best games I've ever seen him. That throw to Kittle was amazing. Him improvising with his feet, incredible. Yeah.
Here's what
Which
I
I
think.
said last. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Well, I said last year we had the debate. To me, the crucial thing was if we lose Trent Williams, and then I put Brock Purdy ahead of CMC is what I said. And everybody else said CMC can't lose him going to the playoffs. To me, it was Purdy right behind Williams.
I just think, man, I watched him for how many years at Iowa State. And man, he made throws, and he's got some dog in him. He's got some foxhole guy in him, which you have to have.
That moxie.
And he can move his feet in the pocket. He anticipates throws, keeps his eyes downfield. You take that guy, and we're going to say it right now. I'm going to say the word, but it's true. And you put him in the right situation or the right system, and it just amplifies everything.
Yeah.
And that's what you're seeing right now. Do I think he's a good quarterback? Yeah. Is everything amplified as it would with anybody else because of what it's surrounding him, the system he's in? Sure. But he's still a good quarterback at the very base level of everything by just the intangibles that he brings. And his intangibles look better this year than they did last year.
I think he's going to have to win. He's going to have to win to shut him up.
Yeah. Well, here's the
I don't
thing.
know.
To shut up people,
he's like
he
24.
would have to go to like a Dallas and be the entire system. He would have to be the guy where there's no motion. There's very little talent outside of one receiver. You're making every check. You're making every call. And you have to make all these tight window throws. That's when people would shut up, is to put him in an old offense like that. And it's not fair.
What part's not fair, Mike? The fact that he to shut him up, or the fact that Dallas has an old system that with
I really vented right there about the Cowboys a little bit.
You did do the smoothest segue into a Cowboys fan I've ever seen.
Under the surface, little Cowboys frustration there. But no, man, I like Purdy. I like him at Iowa State. I like him even more now. So.
This all started with the Cowherd Bo Nix. Papa Cowherd really put me behind the 8 ball there.
Just wanting views.
Dumb.
Just wanting views.
I thought that was lazy because he didn't factor in. Yeah, I thought that was lazy.
Dumb.
That's Saved by the Bell. Stupid.
Dumb. Worthless.
Dumb. I don't say worthless, do they?
Yeah, I think so, don't they? I can't remember. Dumb. Stupid.
Crumb bum.
Stinks.
What else do we have? Do we have anything else? I'm sure that'll get the chat going. That little topic. Do we have anything else
from your little prop?
No, I just wanted to do it because I know I'm going to do what I'm going to do next week, and we're going to talk about quarterback replacements for the Raiders. I'm sure, and we're going to see. But anything else NFL discussion related?
I'm going to say one thing.
All right.
I'm going to give a shout out Baker Mayfield, man. I have been defending Baker. I've been the number one defender of Baker in the chat for years now. When people was picking like Jimmy G over him. I've defended Baker. He got screwed over in Cleveland where he got hurt. Huh?
That's probably me.
No, it wasn't you.
Okay.
But no, man, he got screwed over in Cleveland when he got hurt, and he shouldn't have played through the injury, but he did. Went to Carolina where everybody sucks. McVay kind of saved him, and now Tampa, he's in a great situation. He's playing. I think he's the number one fantasy quarterback, but he looks really good.
That is kind of funny you say that about McVay saving him, and now go back to Sam Darnold being terrible, and then he spent that year with Shanahan as a backup.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's rejuvenated. Didn't think about that until you just said the Baker.
I mean, Darnold went to the Jets and the Panthers.
Yeah.
You cannot even make up a worse.
Yeah, but
like that is the two worst you could start him.
Terrible. And even in camp and stuff, like for the Niners, all their beat writers, and they were like, "This guy is worthless." Like everybody said he was terrible. All camp, all practice, everything. So it was shocking that he got a starting job and he's doing what he's doing.
Now tied with Purdy. PvP.
See how long that lasts.
Who would you rather have, Brock Purdy or Sam Darnold?
I'm sure somebody will say something different in the chat.
I'm not going that far.
No,
I would not go that far.
That would be absurd. And Darnold's still done some stupid stuff this year. Like I've seen some terrible plays he's made.
Yeah. It's in there hidden still.
Yeah, right now it's just they have Jefferson, they have a great scheme and
Yeah.
coach, and their defense is just balls to the wall playing different than
Nuts.
everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay.
We can
So
talk
I'm
about the
trying to think
Cleveland
of
Browns.
dude,
Did I share the thing? I don't even know where I saw it about the Browns
Fanta.
when they were 1-32. When they were 1-32, their offense was better than it is right now.
Yes, I saw that.
They can't
I've
score
seen a
15
bunch
points.
I think it's jokes because I remember the rumors about like Watson's burner accounts and stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't remember all the names of them. One was like, was it one like a Bickerstaff or something like that? Something around there. But
Yeah.
it was like jokes about like sharing Amari Cooper highlights saying that this man was sabotaging us from within on purpose, like him dropping the balls, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the fix like there. I don't know.
Well, we can talk about we can segue into the trades real quick, the two trades and how they affect
Oh yeah, let's talk about this because okay. When you're a other side of the argument connoisseur, such as I am,
indeed.
you get these things, they start bubbling.
Mhm.
All right, they start bubbling down low, and you're like, I think I feel this way.
What is that?
You try to suppress the feeling, but I have a hot. I'm the takeness is taking me. Go ahead.
We got a Brett brain?
I just think.
Or is that, is that a Brett
like,
brain or a
this
Brett
is
poop
Twitter,
pain? Which
man.
one
This
is
is like the evil Brett.
Yeah, it's just a
I don't
Brett
think the
poop pain.
Devontae Adams trade matters at all, and I think the Amari Cooper trade is a humongous deal.
I kind of agree. I think the Devontae trade will be.
They're 2-5.
I think it will matter a little bit, but the Amari Cooper one is huge. Amari Cooper, I know he struggles sometimes. You got to ride the waves with Amari Cooper, and I do own him in the KDFL and have since we drafted him third overall back in the day, 2016, 18, whatever it was.
Bias.
But man, he still runs the smoothest routes. Sometimes he just forgets to catch the ball. But I think he is going to be awesome for Josh Allen. I think it's going to be just like Diggs.
Wow.
You know what the thing is? He is the perfect receiver that he needs, Josh Allen. It'd be interesting watching because sometimes you'll watch him and he'll look like he's 40 years old moving out there because the man absolutely hates cold weather. He doesn't like playing in cold weather.
That's the problem.
So that right there, I was like, oh, man, Buffalo, that's perfect, Josh. And wait a second. He doesn't like the cold at all. He hates playing in the cold.
I think he's going to be somebody that knows how terrible the situation is that he's in right now and is getting a second chance at an amazing situation.
You were talking about Adams to the Jets. I saw it being compared, if you agree, when Moss was with the Raiders, went to the Patriots. Obviously, it's not going to be that prolific. It's not going to be that prolific, obviously. But can he rejuvenate his career that way like Moss did?
You know what I saw it compared to? KD and Paul Pierce on the Nets. That's what I saw. And that's what I feel like it's going to look like. Now, but I am looking right now, and I'm already seeing how I'm going to get this football spiked in my face at the beginning of this. Because look at this schedule right now.
That's what I literally just pulled it up.
I just looked at it right now, and I'm instantly terrified. Okay, because this is going to come out the gate making me look terrible. The Steelers game is going to be tough. Then they got the Patriots, which he might get Gonzalez, and we'll see. I have mentioned Gonzalez every freaking podcast episode for a quarterback of a bad team. I somehow have worked this man into every episode because it's always like, who the Patriots playing? This guy's going to get Gonzalez, and I do it every episode. But all right, then it's the Texans. That's a tough game. Then you got the Cardinals, the Colts, the Seahawks, the Dolphins, and the Jags. They could get well above 500 after that. Then the Rams, who knows what the Rams will look like. Then it's the Bills, and then it's the Dolphins again, hopefully with Tua, back.
Buddy, the Dolphins, week 18, will not be having anybody in that game.
It's in New York. It's going to be cold.
That's a tank.
They're going to look dumb. The jersey looks dumb when it gets cold.
The Dolphins will be like 4-12, buddy.
They turn into the Flint Tropics when it gets cold. Like it's just all I see all of a sudden. So whatever. Maybe I'll have to wait till the playoffs for it to not show up. But I just don't like it's just not going to be getting the band back together and we're taking off. It might have those weeks because some of these matchups, the Cardinals and then the Seahawks and the Jags, and back to back every other week. That's great. But
Well, it's hard to gauge them because you thought coming in like, okay, you're going to have the defense. You're going to have Rodgers and you're going to have the defense. Defense has not looked very consistent at all. We know the problems with the offensive line. So, yeah, you bring in Adams, a guy that Rodgers knows, but you still got issues on the defensive side of the ball. You still got issues on the offensive line. So how much are you really improving? I saw some stat like they've scored the same amount of points as they did under Zach Wilson through the same span of time.
I did see that.
So, I mean, how much are you really improving?
I don't even feel that bad making fun of Hackett because he's made so much money and he's had a great career. That Hackett snap picture. This guy got nothing to do. Just in the booth.
What's he do? And the Jets they're like the Cowboys Mike mentioned earlier about their offense. They just don't just an old ass offense.
It's old.
It's not a modern offense, and every defensive coordinator can easily adjust to it.
The quarterback is the entire system.
Yeah.
It's on them completely.
I guess it would terrify me as a Jets fan for life after and you could come in.
The Jets should have won that.
You're held hostage right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're a franchise held hostage at the moment, but it's the best. Like, what if your hostage taker is like the best person you've ever met? So you're going to take that situation. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just a great. Like I always said, if I was homeless, I would just rob a bank, and if I get away with it, I got the money. If I don't, I get like meals in the bed.
That's like some serious Stockholm syndrome there.
It really is.
That's a good Brett brain.
Yeah.
If I was homeless, I would just make myself
just rob a bank or just go to jail. Yeah, take that coin flip.
Yeah.
Like,
I like it.
It's obviously like it's always
good chance
sound thinking, sound mind. Okay, are we ready to jump into KDFL?
Wherever you are, man.
That's what you want to do?
All right.
I don't know where we're at.
Real quick, just going to throw you guys off, but we throw up the picks on the big board. It was the worst week in pick history for your podcast hosts. Detroit 1-5, Matt 2-4, Brett 1-5. So Brett, my lead goes down to just 3 games over Matt. I'm 22-14. Matt's 20-16. Detroit is 17-19. And when it comes to the NFL picks, Detroit gets both of his right. He's been a little hot. He's 8-4. Matt gets 1 right, 1 wrong, 6-6. I, for the second straight week, get both of mine wrong. I am falling to 4-8. Need a new strategy to come up with. Thank you, Timbo, for belittling that first one. All right, now we'll come back to us here, and I will get this ready. And I will get this ready. Throw up. We're vamping. A lot of vamping.
What's
happening? And we will share.
Filler time.
Talking about something. Hot take here.
Brock Purdy, BQ at TBL.
Oh, that threw me off. Okay, can you guys see the matchup screen?
It's massive.
Thanks.
You can see. What can you see?
Okay. I see Hurricane versus Melbourne.
Okay.
Hurricane or Hurricane? Because somebody on this podcast always still calls it Hurricane like he's not from around here.
I hope that's not me.
How old is that person? Is he older? Or
he's a little older. He's
I've heard
one might even say he's on the other side of the hill, like one going over. But yeah, he always drops a hurricane, and then Brett never corrects it, probably because he's just used to hurricanes in Florida. They just lets it go at this point, but it is still Hurricane.
Correct.
Well, that is the person you're responsible for picking for. Wait, no, you're not. You're a Matt. You're a Matt's picks. Mike is Detroit's picks.
Are you sharing your Google Doc here?
No, I am just sharing the matchup is what we're looking at.
I'm seeing the Google Doc right now.
I'm seeing a Google Doc on my screen.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. I thought I shared the wrong side.
But now it is.
Then you can see the hurricane.
It was at first, but now it's the Google Doc.
What can you see now?
The Google
Oh,
Doc.
no. I know what I'm doing. Stop share. Stop the steal. Hold on.
Can the world see the Google Doc, or can the world see? What can they see?
Ah!
That's how the sausage is made, ladies and gentlemen.
I shared
Let's
the actual
rewind this.
file and not the. Okay, now let me know when you can see it.
There we
Now
go.
I see it. Yeah, now it's good.
Yeah.
All right, Lord help us all. Okay. All right, tough on this Thursday morning to get through this here. All right. First up, I will go to Mike first. For Mike, I guess just give me a matchup you're looking forward to. You have no prep for this, so just give me a matchup you're looking forward to, and then just give me a pick. We'll start with the River Rats at 1-5, traveling to the Commission's Evil Empire at 5-1. The River Rats became the last unbeaten team. They finally got, or beaten team. They finally got their first W last week. So will that momentum keep going? Mike, take it away.
You look at the projections, man. South Hill is projected 250, Oakview 232. And I look at these quarterback matchups. You got C.J. Stroud, for South Hills going against Green Bay. Come across, you got Jordan Love in Houston. So that's a nice matchup there. I think there's going to be a lot of points in that game. Jaden Daniels facing Carolina. I think he'll do well. I think Elkview can hang around a little bit in this game for a bit. I think South Hills gets the W,
Okay.
but closer.
We're here for dubs, bro.
Closer than the experts think.
All right,
South
Lee.
Hills wins.
One thing in this matchup for me, if I'm supposed to go next, I think I'm supposed to go next. I think that's how this works.
We always say me for last.
There's a fella named Saquon Barkley who's returning to New York. So 50 points for Saquon. They're going to give him the ball 500 times. It's going to be like the Lions throwing to their offensive lineman. Saquon's going to get the ball. He might even play quarterback. They might put Hurts at receiver. Who knows? Yeah, I do think this is going to be a close matchup, though. But Evil Empire will take the dub.
If I'm the River Rats, I'm so pissed right now that I'm getting Jaden Daniels versus Carolina, and I'm racing against the 5-1 Evil Empire because this is a 26-point projection. Is a crap ton. That's the most I've seen this year, I would say.
That might be the most since you mentioned it. He's got 23. Oh, it's average. He's average. 23, Jordan. I was looking at Love. They both average 23. Wow. Look at these guys.
Yeah. You know who he should talk about this? If I was the River Rats to be pissed off, I would talk to whoever made the schedule. They had me line up.
That's true.
To face the Evil Empire with Jaden Daniels as his best matchup.
I'd file a complaint.
What an idiot.
What an moron.
It's a trash can. All right. Yeah, look at it. I just want to see, my main thing I want to see, will Jaden Daniels top at 26 projection? I think he will. I mean, the Panthers are just absolute. It's the team everybody wants to play. That's them and the Jags defensively. So let me get the Evil Empire getting the win, but the Jaden Daniels show continuing. Next, let's go to Nocatee as the 5-1, the other 5-1 team. The Dobermans are going to the 2-4 Nocatee Zen Masters. Mike, take it away.
Well, no Caleb Williams for the Zen Masters. Hurts. Have to go with Drake May there against. Well, they're in London facing Jacksonville, so he's got both his quarterbacks facing each other. I look at Dogtown. Got Burrow facing Cleveland. He seems to always do well against Cleveland. He seems to show out against them. Brian Thomas against the Patriots. Who's his matchup going to be? Be the big figure there. Josh Allen against Tennessee. That's not a Tennessee defense that we're used to. I think Dogtown handles this one pretty easily.
Real quick, I've been passed a note I was supposed to talk about earlier. I want to know, this is from an anonymous question of the audience, or of the host here, from the audience, anonymous question. Are you all scared of what the Zen Masters are shaping up to be and will be in 2 to 3 years from now?
No, because he'll get mad.
He'll blow his team up next year.
Yeah, on a random Wednesday night in November, he will get mad and trade everybody again and redo this whole cycle.
Yeah, he's going to message Tim in 4 weeks and say, "Hey, you want Caleb Williams?" That's what's going to happen. So
man.
That's true.
not
That is what happens.
yeah. So I'm not even concerned about that. No,
Yeah. Not I would not be worried at all.
no. No. And Tim's gonna say,
Um,
sure, thanks. So
It was a
I do
question that
think
was passed to me.
he had a hell of a first round, but he also don't have a first rounder next year. So I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? The good news is we'll know if the Zen Masters have a chance in this game before the 1 o'clock games even kick off.
yeah.
So that's the good thing.
Yeah.
You'll know whether or not to click on this box score at all throughout the day. The key for the Zen Masters is Lawrence having a big game, but not using Brian Thomas. That's the key.
That's tough. That's a pickle.
That is a pickle, and it's highly unlikely. Although Gabe Davis did randomly catch a couple footballs the other day, so who knows? But the Dobermans are a wagon, so even their defense is solid. I mean, they don't even have McCaffrey, so if he gets McCaffrey, look out. But yeah, Doberman's going to win this one by we'll go by the spread by 30.
Yeah, you were also not allowed to pick the Zen Masters, just so you know. So that's good.
Wasn't allowed to?
You were not allowed to, based on who you are representing in these picks. You were not allowed to pick the Zen Masters. That was also a note that was passed.
Done. Consider it done.
Anonymous.
Only thing I care about in this matchup is if it is Russell Wilson, let's see George Pickens, but he's gonna have Sauce, right? So Sauce is playing, right? I know he's banged up for a little bit. He is playing, yes.
Mm-hmm.
When y'all do the pause right there, it freaks me out that I missed something. Okay. All right.
Nope.
Just listening.
It's just us working together.
Yeah. So I am a little bit nervous about that. That being said, this is the regular season Dobermans. We have grown accustomed to the last few years. They keep on rolling through that regular season, and then the test will come in the postseason for them. Give me the Dobermans getting the win. All right, let's go to Kanawha County now, where the Gamblers at 2-4 are taking on the Kanawha County Kings at 3-3. Mike, take it away.
Well, this should be a W for Kanawha County, but he's just been such a letdown this season. You just really don't know what you're going to get. Lamar should feast in Tampa. That should be a nice game there for him, especially on the ground. Brock Purdy against KC. That will be one to watch. That'll be fun to see what he can do there. The biggest thing that Kanawha County has to avoid from Vegas is the random 40-point game from a defensive player. If he can avoid that bomb, he'll be in good shape, I think. So give me Kanawha County with the W.
Yeah.
This is another one we'll know pretty early because Bo Nix and Sutton play on Thursday. Another little tidbit here. The Gamblers had a really good chance to cash in on Zach Moss a couple weeks ago. I may or may not have reached out to him and even told him in the text, I figure Chase Brown's going to take this job, but I'm just seeing what you would trade. And he said, what would you trade? He did not want to trade Zach Moss. He thought Zach Moss was the guy. But he asked me what I would trade, and I said probably at least the second. So avoided that one because Chase Brown is the guy and is a stud. But anyways, so that's just another trade that I have luckily avoided that has helped me in the last few years. We're going to go Kings big though, because this in the Mac Jones Bowl, we're going to go with the guy that's actually playing. Actually, no, he's not playing either. Cowboys are off. Look at there.
Yeah. I thought you meant
that
Mac Jones.
trade is mute this week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is sad, man.
That is sad.
This is like the Thursday night game, but
like last week when me and Mike played and Mahomes and Jefferson didn't play.
That sucked. I know.
Oh man. Okay. Tyrone Tracy, I hope he gets more run. I don't know. We don't know for sure if Singletary's out yet. I don't believe. But another interesting thing for the Gamblers, Alexander Madison is continuing to look slightly better and better, and I want to see if he continues to carve out more of a role on that offense. And then I want to see if the Kings can get their running back situation right. It's been like kind of a round robin of which one to bench between Jacobs, Hall, Brian Robinson, and ETN. I would bench ETN personally. That's what he has right now, but that's a little bit of bias.
I thought ETN was going to miss some time, which is why I spent some money this morning on. But then they said ETN might end up playing.
It's not a good play. You know why? Because he's about to be shipped out of Duval. All right, he has that Devontae Adams hamstring right now. All right, it's happening. Give me the Kings. Getting the win.
Okay.
All right. Next, we will have the Hurricane Wampus Cats. One of
Wampus
our
Cats!
many 3-3. Thank you for doing that. One of our many 3-3 matchups. The Wampus Cats traveling down here to Melbourne to take on the Mega Powers. Mike, take it away.
It's a tough matchup. I like this matchup. Hurricane projected 260, but I tell you what, I don't love his quarterback matchups. Kyler Murray against the Chargers.
They play each other.
Herbert, exactly. Herbert hasn't done a ton. He hasn't really cut loose. A.J. Brown against the Giants in New York. I don't know about that one. Derrick Henry against the Bucks. Bucks interior defensive line is always good against the run. So that will be something to watch. And I like some of Melbourne's matchups on offense. I like if Anthony Richardson plays tank against the Patriots, like Drake London against Seattle to put up a lot. I'm going to do it.
He's doing it?
Mega Powers at home defends their turf and the sand from Hurricane. Give me the Mega Powers.
Oh.
Second time in 2 weeks, we defend from a hurricane. Boom.
That's unfortunate because I had that joke ready, and
that's my bad. That's Mike.
Sorry.
Mike did that.
Sorry. I mean, it was
Mike did that.
It was there.
Not my fault.
I shouldn't have referenced it earlier with the hurricane stuff. I already had it in my head.
You did implant it accidentally.
So yeah, that's an error on myself.
Love it.
I just looking at this screen right here. It just makes me so thankful that on that random day in November, December, whenever it was, that Brock Purdy was announced the starter and Tim picked him up, that Brett didn't. Because I do not want the quarterback curse that is the Mega Powers.
True.
With Anthony Richardson and Deshaun Watson. And then
Dak's on bye.
And then poor Dak.
He's on bye.
Yeah, but he's
coming off his 2-point performance.
Anyways, sorry about that. Sorry, bro.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, bro.
A lot of Qs in Melbourne.
Jordan Mason, if he plays, which I think he will, because he is practicing. I don't know about today. I haven't looked at today's stuff, but yesterday I know he had the non-contact stuff on.
Off to the side.
If he plays, though, I worry because that means he is an available weapon for Cal Shanahan, and Cal Shanahan will run his weapons into the ground.
Yes.
So I worry that he will be re-injured before 10 minutes left in the second quarter.
Yeah.
With that said, Wampus Cats are going to win. AJ Brown's back healthy. Cats, Monday Night Football, they get to show off both quarterbacks. Cats win. Wampus Cats. Wampus Cats.
What is Monday Night Football is
2 games.
It's 2 games this week?
Yeah.
What is
Chargers, Cardinals, and Bucks.
Oh, that's right, because I have a friend that's the Chargers Cardinals is on ESPN Plus.
I found out about the Chargers Cardinals thing about 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So it was news to me.
The only way I can get this win, and it's desperate times right now. Like we are Melbourne, nobody likes this guy, but we are quite banged up right now. Like I've lost my number 1 wide receiver. My quarterback that was supposed to score the most, Anthony Richardson, hasn't done it. Dak is on bye, and I've lost Pacheco as well, my number 1 running back. It is very tough times right now, but I do like how we match up against the Wampus Cats because Kyler has no Marvin Harrison, and the only person he will throw to all day long is Trey McBride, which I happen to have. So I need that to go well. I need Atlanta and Seattle to be the shootout, but that it could be. And I need JSN to do some things. Drake London to keep it going. I need the Chargers and Cardinals to not be what it could be, but it's going to be a thin win if we get. Now, my prediction for this actual game is that this game ends up getting won like I'm gonna eat some crow, but like 210 to 200 is where I think this game will end up at. Like I think it's gonna be an ugly win. You need some of those in the season. But yeah, give me the Mega Powers. Whatever. All right. I didn't realize I did this when I put together the games, but we have 3 straight 3-3 matchups.
I assumed that was on purpose.
Nah, dude. My brain just rolls with it.
It seemed like they were like less. They went from less important to more important as we.
It has a flair. My brain is built for a flair for the KDFL. Let's go to Roxalena next. where we have the 3-3 Midnight Riders taking on the 3-3 Roxanne Renegades. Mike.
These are really tough times in Marmet.
No.
I'm not even going to look at the matchups. It's not about the matchups. It's not about any of that, what's on the screen. It's about what's in here. Okay?
Yep.
And as the champions, we got to jump in that foxhole, and we got to look shoulder to shoulder to the men right there beside of us and see if they'll go that inch with us. Because if we don't heal now as a team, we will die as individuals. That's football. Okay?
You kind of had a Coach Taylor little thing right there, I felt like.
Thank you. We have to find
in post, you should hit the Friday Night Lights music right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
championship medal. All right. A lot of injuries in Marmet, a lot of banged up guys. All my best guys are banged up, it feels like. Been out for weeks. We've been band-aiding things together, we eradicated Dunbar off the map. It doesn't even exist anymore. We've got past that and we're struggling. So what do?
It's true.
We fight, we respond, we show up as champions, and we win on Sunday. Give me the Midnight Riders.
Well, I mean, that is you're facing Dunbar again, so maybe
this is the other one.
That's what you needed.
Yeah,
this is what you needed.
Yeah.
This one. So I may or may not. Again, I'll go back into my DMs. I received a private message from the coach of the Renegades just about 4 or 5 days ago. That the Renegades were about to get split up. That they were on
death's door.
The end was nigh, and then he dropped. I haven't heard from him since, but then he dropped 280, and now has a chance to do some real damage against another 3-3 team. And he might, if he wins this one, I think he's all in for the season, whether he wants to be or not. But this one's going to come down to Baker Mayfield on Monday Night Football. I don't have any other notes, and I'm trying to figure out who I want here on the fly. You got Rodgers and Devontae. Sunday Night Football. Mike said all the primetime games. We're taking Midnight Riders.
Prime time, baby.
Although, so it depends on who Rodgers throws to. If he throws to Devontae or if he throws to Garrett Wilson, because that's the battle. Because both will be playing in this matchup.
You would think he would throw to his guy first game.
You would think.
You would think so.
Or maybe he's trying to shut up the critics.
I'm gonna have such egg on my face whenever Devontae Adams goes for 1,300 yards in the rest of the season.
Could happen. Still good.
Yeah. Okay. I can't do it. I'm not doing it, Mike. Give me the Renegades. I'm gonna stay with my Dunbar brother in here.
I'm never coming back on this show ever.
We need redemption. Gino has Atlanta. Oh crap! Joe Mixon has Green Bay. That really sucks. Okay. Oh, Montgomery, Minnesota. Okay, this is not getting better. We're gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way to get the win.
Stafford against Vegas, and Cup might be back.
Kyle Pitts, the new Kyle Pitts.
Oh yeah, against Seahawks, who Kittle just had 2 touchdowns on.
Look at these games. 15 points.
He's just as good as Kittle, right?
He's had just as many bad games as good games this year.
That's good
for Kyle.
So Pitts. That's good. He's never had just as many good games as bad games.
He's living up to the promise that we all saw when we took him 4 overall, ahead of Chase, ahead of Parsons. Just what we wanted to do. Ahead of Sewell. That's good. Got everybody.
Ahead of Devonta. Right. Ahead of Waddle.
Yeah. All right. Now, let's get to our Week 7 game of the week. It is the 3-3 Lumberjacks going at the 3-3 Sinners. Take it away, Mike.
It's a fun matchup.
I
like it a lot. I think it's a fun matchup. Well, I'm trying to sell it for you guys, and then you just stepped all over. Okay. Yeah. Cousins.
This is like trying to do commentary at the end of the Cowboys lines.
It is, yeah.
What are we talking about now?
See it coming. Another.
You got to sing him every now and again. This is when you get him at his best.
I'm taking Wake Forest. I ain't even talking about it anymore.
That's where you get him at his best.
Lumberjacks, the pick. Jerem.
All right. This is the ultimate nobody believes in us game. Because nobody does and nobody will even after this game.
I agree.
We have 2 teams who are going in the opposite direction. And Yeah, the Sinners are just going to keep winning every other week and keep delaying with the rebuild that they should have done before the season. I even wrote down their scores because it's a roller coaster. The Sinners scores this year 268, 235, 186, 259, 294, 224. Just
I
roller
love it.
coaster. And now they're projected 206. So this is going to be a
Well, but he's
battle.
got again. He presses it because it is Thursday morning, and he presses it right up against the wire here. He has Zeke out. Zeke in the lineup right now. He has
Yeah, but
Shaheed was ruled
what's the
out.
difference between Zeke in the lineup and out of the lineup?
Shaheed has been ruled out. He's going to miss, and then he has a Overshown, the linebacker for the Cowboys,
Yeah.
is out. So he's got some spots to fill.
Either way, it's still going to be.
It'll be most likely a tied projection when the time comes. Is my
It's
point.
going to be a race for the Philadelphia line, and I'm taking. Even though I wrote down the Sinners on my thing, I can't go against what I've been saying. We're going to say the Lumberjacks going to get this one done. R.I.P. Phil.
I was very confused because I wrote down Sinners at first with how you were picking, and then I wrote down Lumberjacks, but I just did their initials, which made me write down LJ, which also confused me quite a bit.
Yeah, I went all over the place right there. Well, I threw Mike off, and it threw me off. And
but writing the initials for Lumberjacks is LJ, right there. Really. Yeah.
Let me just say this. Do you understand how unhappy my weekends are when I have a coach that talks about, did you enjoy the weather and the tailgate?
Did you?
And then
Mike, did you enjoy the fantasy game we had last week? Did you enjoy being in the league? You were in the league. Did you enjoy being in the league? I mean, you were just saying. You could have been doing other things, but instead you were in this league having a good time.
Yeah.
No, I've lost 3 in a row. There's no fun going on right now. No. There's nothing going on.
You have not won since you beat? Yeah, you haven't. Yeah.
He's only beat Dunbar.
Yeah.
And now he's facing Dunbar, so it's a lot.
I lost Rashee Rice. I lost Adams. I lost Tyreek's quarterback.
The good news is that's your division. So if you only beat Dunbar this year, you'll still make the playoffs.
Yeah. It's just been bad.
If you only beat Dunbar, you'll go 7-7.
I'm not having fun. The weather isn't nice. There's no tailgate. It's a mess. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Pets' heads are falling off. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick the Sinners in hopes that he loses, so I'm wrong. That's what I'm going to do.
I like it. It's a good strat.
Cousins gets Seattle. That's my only thing. Cousins gets Seattle, and that is a big deal. I know Bijan also gets Seattle, but I feel like we are, as the Falcons, we are also alternating now because we proved like we could run on the ground last week, run through the air the week before. So this is a Cousins week. So give me the Sinners getting the win. Stop sharing, and back to us now.
Oh, wow.
Boys, that's it.
So
we did it. We did it. That's right. Now all I need from you two fine gents are your picks and your sign-offs. We'll start with Mike.
And speaking about your Cousins and the Falcons, this is easy for me. You look at the league, you look at the mojo, good and bad. Who's climbing uphill, who's going downhill? Give me the Falcons -3 over the Seahawks. That to me is easy. I think the Falcons will be once again in the 30s into points, and they'll handle business. And in the same vein, give me the over, 51.5. I could see that score being like a 34-24 ballpark game. Falcons win. So, easy.
What'd you do? What over did you do?
Falcons Seahawks.
You did both.
Yeah, you did the game, right?
Same game. Same game.
Did he say the total or no?
51.5.
Okay, I had 51 down. Okay. For some reason, I heard 34. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, I got you.
Wow. It's 34.
Yeah. I did not thought about it as ridiculous as soon as I said it.
It's 34. Could you guys give me like 3 minutes, please?
Right.
For my picks, I've got the Bills -8.5 against the Titans. Mari Cooper joins the Bills this week. Give them some juice. Titans are absolutely terrible, and Will Levis has been just a meme machine, which I love, but he is awful.
So much fun.
He's bad.
He is fun bad. Bengals Browns under 41.5, only because the Browns can't score points. They can't score 15 points, and I'm not even sure if they do that the Bengals can score 26. Final score of this game is going to be 23-10, so give me the under 41.5. And this is not a pick, but please, for the love of God, 49ers. Please beat the Chiefs.
Hey, I got your back.
This is the most important game of the year. Beat the MFN Chiefs.
I got your back because I've only lost 4 straight picks. So with that being said, I'm taking the Niners -1 against the Chiefs because you got to look at it, guys. You got to look at the league. The Chiefs have to lose a game or two somewhere, right? This team isn't no 16-1 team. This is
the worst Chiefs team I've ever seen in my life.
This is a classic spot, and the Niners have to grab a hold of that division and go to 4-3. It's clear as pie. Clear as pie. 4-1, or sorry, give me the Niners -1, and then just because I don't see how points are scored in this game at all, if Anthony Richardson is starting, give me the Dolphins and Colts under 44.
I almost did that one too.
Yeah. So for the Evil Commish, Jeremy. Oh, we'll be back next week with KDFL Week 6 results and Week 7 picks. Now I've learned how to flow that a little bit better, so it's not as awkward. Unless I stop and
we won't be back.
How I'm flowing about it, and then it messes it up.
I got one thing to say.
Call on Mike. Hand.
Since I was filling in for Detroit this week with the picks, I appreciate the seat and everything. I also need to say, Brett, you suck.
I thought I was gonna get bought. I wasn't gonna do it.
Oh, I can say something. You
have a Zenful quote?
It's not really Zenful, but it's a quote. Not really a quote.
Maybe just say
just my thoughts. Right, it's just actually just my thoughts, but Matt will love it because he loves me. And
yes,
me and Matt are always on the same page. Everybody wants to write off the evil empire and parading out these new contenders, but every week when the scores are tallied, there's only one team standing on top. Greatness never fades, and this empire will never fall.
That's pretty good. I
don't know why you used a poem-like cadence when none of it rhymed at all. It was just a message.
I wasn't going to say it like that until you said the Zenful thing, and then Matt always kind of does it like that. So I changed the way I was delivering it.
All right, there it is, boys and girls. So for the Midnight Rider himself, champ Mike McGee, for the Evil Commission, Jeremy Clark.
Who just sniped me with quickly?
The Evil Commission.
Tim, you son of a bitch. I bet it was great.
Damn it, Tim.
Evil Commission, Jeremy Clark. I'm Brett Steele. We will see you here next week on the KDFL Dynasty Football Podcast.